I guess you can hear me. Good. Oh, I'm live. Good morning, everybody. I have been psyching myself up. I've been listening to some Bocephus, some Junior, some Dinosaur. Oh, yeah. You can hear it in your head right now. I'm a dinosaur. Give me my hat. Excuse me, man, but where's the door? All right. Y'all didn't come here to hear me sing. And I don't blame you. Let's see who's in the house. Remy. Hey there, Remy. He fella Canadian. Miss Redbird Farm. She says she won't be able to stay long. Why not, Brenda? Give me no excuse. I got Scott on. Hey, you got to stay around when Scott's here. Got RG Homestead. Yeah, so far so good. We have escaped the storms. So far, it just come down pretty good. But most all the tornadoes and stuff has just been right above us. So, get a little hairy here. We got Miss Rebecca Davis, touched by yawn. Uh-oh, y'all. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your seats. Look at who's in the house. Andrea. I want everybody to get on here and tell Andrea, now let me put it this way, encourage Andrea that I'm going to send her an email. I've been meaning to send her an email that I want her on my live. I want her on my live stream. I got to have her on there. My life will not be complete. I mean, I've had some of the very best on the live stream, but I don't know if I have to go to my grave without ever having Andrea on the live stream. I just don't know if it will have been a success. I'm just not sure. I pick on Andrea. Me and Andrea pick on each other, I reckon. There's Miss Heather. Let me get down. And yes, she made it on time. And when she says she made it on time, she means she made it. Back to country, some Texans, I think, is in the house. Ooh, y'all had a big storm, 1.5 inches of rain. Well, I think we're getting y'all a storm. Let me get on through here. Got some folks in here doing some, putting some channels out. Got Mommy with Charity. That's my daughter. Woohoo! And I appreciate y'all pushing these links out. There's Hayden Farm. Hayden Farms just barely missed the tornado. It came real close to them. They live just north of us, about 45 minutes or so. And a tornado just cut across the state and hit. I don't know where all it hit, but I knew it hit pretty close. I texted him earlier, make sure he's all right. He said they'd come up through it all right. So we're proud of that. There's some Arkansas folks. Hey, Randy, Sharon, appreciate y'all coming. I live back in the hood. You see my woman and the dog. I just had it on, man. I just had it on. Got to get psyched up. Hey there, Mr. Tim. And look who else is in the house. Glenn from I had him and Jessica on last week. Let me tell y'all something about Glenn and Jessica. They tried to have a couple lives, didn't have a whole lot of show up, but I think they will now. They're going to do one tomorrow, Wednesday at 9:00. And I've tried to push it out on my Facebook page. Y'all, please get over there and check them out. I think, and look, they was behind me in subscribers last week. I don't know, about probably 10 subscribers behind me. Got off the thing, and within, an hour or so after it, they done passed me like I was sitting still. Can you believe that mess? Hey, y'all passed me right on up. Y'all just keep on going. I'm grabbing hold of your coattails, buddy. I sure am. There's Stephen in the house, Mr. Boots. And he's got a live tonight, Boots and Bounty. And I think that's at 5:00. And then, of course, tomorrow night, he has Help Desk at 5:00 on Mr. Boots' channel. Yeah, Andrea is on time. Crubby Crubby the Beagle. How far down am I? Let's see. There's Roberta. I'm going to hurry, folks. Let's see. Roberta. Hey, Roberta. Appreciate you coming in. Got some folks. There's Virginia. I tried to see if they had that live stream on last night. Virginia, T and me, whatever. Anyway, I didn't see where they had it on, but I tried. Yeah, it's nasty there right now. It's kind of rough right here at times, but we're just right on the line of it. The storms are going this way, and we right here up under. I mean, just right on the edge of it. So if it dips down any at all, we in trouble. Let me scoot on through here real quick. Y'all talk too much. No, I'm just kidding. There's Hoagland. There's another Alabama. Hey, I hope all this stuff don't get y'all, Danny. I sure do, because it's coming your way. There's Eric. Y'all, I just found out about Eric. Seen him on Mr. Boots' channel, and went over there. I think you'll like him. I guess he's got some of the way I think, some of my, I don't know what you call it, not humor, but I just like the way he thinks. At least what I've seen. All right. Y'all all right so far? Fantastic. And looks like I got all the way to the end of the chat. Scott is waiting patiently. And I'll tell you what, normally y'all have to hear me ramble on and on and on and on. But today we're going to try and get in here early just in case the weather knocks us out. And if it knocks me out, I'm going to get Scott just keep on going until I can get back. How about that? Y'all, put your hands together. Mentality and dad humor. That's right, Eric. All right, y'all put your hands together and say hello. Everybody knows Scott, I think, but y'all say hello anyway. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. So, okay, I just got to lay one thing straight.
Oh.
I accepted the snow, not the tornadoes. So you're going to see my fat butt running out that door if you're telling me there's going to be a tornado above our heads.
Hey, I don't like them tornadoes either, but it seemed like for the last 3 weeks at least, I won't say last 3 weeks, we've had tornado warning. We got in the closet last week, not the closet, but in the hallway last week, because they went on both sides of us, went right above us and right below us. And
wow.
I don't like them tornadoes. I don't like the snow either.
I'll take the snow over a tornado any day. Like, we get tornadoes up here too, but it's usually for roughly about mid-July to 1st of September.
Yeah. We generally don't get them, but probably from January to December.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about all we get down here.
Okay.
Can you read you can read the chat, can't you?
I will.
Okay. I didn't know if you could see it or not. Sometimes if somebody's on, they can't read it, and somebody says something, I like to pop it up to them for them. But,
yeah. All people have to do is, if they're up here talking to you, it says right underneath your picture, it says private chat or comments. As long as they press comments, they can see the comments. They can't reply to it, but they can read it.
Right. Yeah, I think not everybody is as experienced a YouTube live streamer as Mr. Scott from Rambling with the Brums. You have been doing this for how long?
Actually, it's my anniversary week. This is roughly about I've been at it about a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have too. We started back in April, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what day. I mean, I don't know what I'd have to go back and look, but it's been about a year for us, and which I didn't know about. What they call the community, the homestead community, YouTube community. I didn't know anything about all that. I just started putting out a video, and I'll be honest, when I first started, if I had, one comment out of 5-10 videos, I thought I had hit the jackpot. Or if I had 15, 20 views on my channel, I was like, man, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Hey, Fortress Creations and Concepts. I don't believe I've ever seen you in here. Appreciate you coming.
They're really good friends with Jen and Wiley.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Altruistic.
No, altruistic.
Altruistic. Okay. I
Oh,
can't even remember that. Altruistic.
you know how many people they have a hard time rolling that tongue to say the first part of that name. Yep.
I'm not trying.
The hell with it.
Yeah. Cody's with us on Hog Deer 79. He killed him a turkey the other day, and I was proud to see that. Anyway, yeah, we started about a year ago too, but you've outpaced us quite a bit in your homes and your YouTubing journey. I'm still in the 400s, and I'm proud of it. I want you to know that I am. It took me death that many people would want to even. I mean, why?
I've done a couple controversial videos, and I've got my hand slapped. So,
Oh no!
oh yeah. So they've taken away at least 100
Really?
brand new subscribers that I've had over the last 3 weeks since I dropped the processing videos that people asked me to. And I'm like, you people want to see how we process the animals? Sure, I'll do it. I did it as respectfully. I put warnings. I put, educational, not for entertainment. I did everything correct. And oh boy, I am actually three subscribers less than whenever I dropped the videos. And I've been into a whole bunny, like I also have been into the Filipino community lately, and that you spread like wildfire in there.
I heard that.
Not one of them stuck. They've taken everything away. So I'm like, you know what? So yeah, I'm not also, how do I say this? I'm not married to YouTube.
Right.
I'm on different, a bunch of different things. So, I'm monetized outside of YouTube with another app.
Really?
Watch.
Okay.
So I tend to spend a lot more, not a lot more, but I tend to spend more time over there.
Right. Well, I'm not married to it either, but I would be disappointed, I guess, because of some of the people that I've met. People I don't know come on and come off. I don't really care because I don't know them. But like the people here in the chat, the ones that I've gotten to know, it would disappoint me if I didn't get to see them.
And that's why I'm still here, Chuck.
Yeah.
Because of the community that I've met and the community that I'm a part of, I'm still here because of those people.
Right.
I can make a lot more money over on the other avenues, but it's the friendships that I've created here. Like I don't have subscribers. I can pretty much name every one of my subscribers by name and not channel name.
Really?
But yeah, except for probably the last 5 to 10 that have joined, I pretty much know their names.
I try and keep up with a lot of them, but I don't. I try and I hate to ask somebody their name, and if they don't mention it, or if it just slips and goes in this ear and out this one, then I'm embarrassed to ask them again.
So a little hint for you.
What's
Most
that?
people have their first names on their about page.
Just go check their about page.
You read somebody's about page, you're going to find out a lot about them because that's a synopsis of their life.
Right.
And what their channel's about. And they usually say their partner's name, their name, if they have a dog, how many dogs, how many kids. You get to learn so much in just a snippet. My memory is not good.
Tommy and Lindsay. Well, I appreciate you telling me because I just watched the video this morning, and I like to tell people's names, because to me it's more personable. And I'm looking outside the window if y'all wonder what I'm doing, because all of a sudden it started forevermore coming down. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. It kind of spooked me there for a second. Yeah, I want to, be able to be personal with people, or personal. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks, Army Tag.
Go ahead, Chuck.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just here. I'm here for you, man.
And but yeah, no, I just, it didn't come overnight learning these people's names, but I chose a different avenue for my channel where I did a lot more lives than what most people do. And that's where I got to know a lot of their first names and whatever, because they were in the chat. So we, chat and whatever. And I'm not one of these people that just limit whenever I'm online, limit it to just creators.
Right.
If any one of my family members want to come up and ask for prayers or say hello, tell a joke, as long as they've been around the community for a while and I know who they are and that they're not going to switch over to a XXX show, it happens. It's happened to me once.
I seems like I remember that. I wasn't on it, but I remember you talking, or had it just happened to you or something? I can't remember now, but
yeah.
Anyway, I've heard of people saying that they get people up on the screen and all of a sudden it's something bad. That'd be horrible.
Well, and we caught a fella about a month and a half ago. I had Big Matt and Zombie Prepper up, and we were chatting.
Yeah.
Well, I looked down in the black room, and Zombie Prepper's down there to come up, and I'm like, Zombie Prepper's right here. Now he's down there. Robert, do you have another account that you're trying to come up and play a joke on us? If it is, I'll let it up. It's fine.
Right.
Somebody copied his account.
Really?
Was going to come up, because I knew Zombie Prepper, and I just assumed they were going to start dropping XXX images or video or whatever. So
yeah, probably so.
Yeah, we took a quick snapshot of it and sent it to YouTube, and told them, to get rid of the wrong one, not the right one.
What did Rob think about that?
Oh, he was just blown away that, like he said, who the heck wants to copy me?
And that's a shame too. Rob's a good guy. You hate to see anybody impersonate, because they're not in it for any good reason. And
no.
Especially with somebody like Rob, he does a whole lot to help others, and he's just a good guy. And Danny Days, I can't remember. She had mentioned something about us changing her name from Hoagland to Danny Days Homestead. And I don't know anything about changing names, but some of you may.
It's really an easy process. You just got to go in and go right back to where you created your name to start with, and then I believe it's Steve's still in here. He'll know it off by heart, but I've only done it once.
Okay.
But it's not that hard at all.
I don't think I'll ever change mine, just simply because, I'm too lazy. But we know you guys as Belinda and Chuck. Steve wants. Somebody mentioned something sometime about I'm always the one on here, and I said I'm going to change my name, change the name to Life with Chuck and Blenda.
Well, and that's funny because everybody keeps, at the first they were like, is it Debbie or is it Scott? It's like, no, Debbie doesn't do anything with this. Yeah. This is me. But I did get her on camera a few times. But it's not something she's comfortable with, and I'm not going to push the envelope.
Blenda gets on here every once in a while.
Yeah.
She's been on a live or two with me, when she's here. Most of the time in the morning she's gone, but I have had a live or two at night or in the evening. And she does some videos, live with Chuck and sometimes Blenda. Hey, that's catchy.
That's catchy, but Miss Belinda may not like it.
No. Actually, Blenda wanted me to put my name first, but I'm just not doing that. I guess I'm old school, and I always felt like I needed to put her out front and let her. I still open the door for her. When we go inside, when we get in the car, and people make fun of me for it, but hey, I don't have a whole lot in this life. I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of wealth, but I can show her every time I do something like that how much I appreciate her, how much I love her.
Now I don't open the car door anymore, but if we go anywhere, absolutely. She'll and it's first nature. She'll wait and let me open the door because she knows if she does it, I'll give her a hug. And it's funny, but I've had people like, I had a lady go off on me. She's her own person. She can open the door. And I'm like, yeah, or I could be a gentleman and open the door for her. And the kids of today, like the young ladies, early 20s or whatever, don't hold the door open for them.
Yeah.
They just don't like it. And I'm like, that's too bad.
I've heard of people saying, that they've tried to do not just opening doors, but other things that are nice, just to show courtesy or show respect or stuff like that. But we don't, I live in the South. I live in South Mississippi, and especially in the community that I'm in, people are still just down home, good folk. They don't think you out to hurt them if you're doing something good, like in a lot of other places. And I like living where I live right now.
And I honestly think that's what it is people are second guessing. If you are holding the door open for them, you want something.
Yeah. It's like
it's sad. It's really sad that that life has went that way. I live in a very rural, small community, and everybody holds the door open for everybody, especially older ladies. It's something that's done, or you see an old lady on the side of the street. We were doing construction whenever I was still working in town. And I told all the young lads that were part of the crew, I'm like, if you ever see an older lady trying to cross this construction site, I want you hanging on to their arm and taking them across this construction site.
Oh, yeah.
And the guys were like, what? And I'm like, no, this is what's done in a small community. I'm like, you take, I said, what if she falls or breaks a hip or breaks an ankle? Or I said, this is a construction site. We're used to walking around it. These ladies in heels are not.
No, they're not.
So take them right by the arm. I said, they're not going to get mad at you. They'll actually, and the one guy that I said would probably give you a tip ended up one day with a $20 tip. He helped the lady around about 5 or 6 different things, and she threw him $20.
Really?
He was tickled pink. Well, then he'd run for every other older lady Didn't matter where he was on the construction site. If he saw like
Goodness
run,
gracious.
grab her by the arm and take her to where she wanted to go. But that's what it should be. You know, I don't know.
I don't know if
I'm an old soul.
I don't know if I spoke to Zany Mae over in Spring Meadow Farm and Garden. If I didn't, I apologize. I like her videos. She's over there in Florida, I believe. Scott, I got a question, and
Okay.
I again, most of the time I just try and glean and listen and eventually try and put pieces together, and that way I don't have to ask awkward questions. But I'm gonna have to ask
There's
you.
never an awkward question with me.
Well, I guess it'd be more awkward on my side. You are some, and I don't know how the Canadian government and all that works, but you're some kind of elected official, or
I am an elected counselor for our community. I've voted in every 4 years.
Okay.
And no, we don't get, like, you could never live off the money that they give you for this.
Oh yeah.
It's just you get a wee little snippet per month to run the community. There's 5 of us. There's a mayor, deputy mayor, and 3 councilors.
Okay. And they have stuff like that here as well. I don't know what that was.
You as far as I know, you guys have elected like municipal people.
We do.
Okay.
I just didn't know if it was any different up there than it was.
No.
Hey,
Nope.
Glenn, I'm going to tell you, Stephen can tell you, or Scott here could probably tell you even better than I can, but let me tell you what I did, and then I'll let Scott tell you the right answer. How about that? What I did on mine, which you don't have anything, never mind, just let Scott answer it.
All you got to do is, if you're on StreamYard, you got to go over to another device that's on YouTube. And if you click that person's name, it'll over to the right-hand side, there'll be 3 little dots. Click on that. Right at the bottom says Add Moderator. Click on that, and they'll be given a wrench. Really easy process, but you cannot do it on StreamYard.
No.
Got to be done on YouTube.
It drove me crazy. What I did, hey, Randy, appreciate you stopping in. What I did is I finally went, after I'd had a couple of live streams and actually had somebody show up, I went back and watched the replay on YouTube, and in the chat I was able to go and make the moderators from there, from the replay, if that makes sense.
Okay, I see the way you did it. Yeah,
right. But I mean, the fallacy to that, or the problem with that, is you only have who's in the chat, and that's fine. I don't really care. I just want enough people in there to throw some links up and be able to.
That was the easiest way to do it. There's other ways that you can go in through the back door and add moderators that way. But there's a lot more explaining to it. That's why I didn't say that. With moderators, and I know Stephen agrees with me, be very, very careful. Moderators can ruin your channel as quick as make your channel. What you're doing is giving somebody minimal access to your channel. They can delete all your comments, and you will never see your comments. Now, I'm not saying that some people in this community might do that, but be very careful. A lot of people will give everybody a wrench.
Right.
Please don't do that. You will, you're just looking for trouble.
Yeah.
It's going to take one troll to get a wrench in somebody's live or wherever, and they will go in and start deleting all your content. Well, folks are, and I'm including myself in this. I like, the personable side of lives where you say hello to everybody. Chuck says the exact same thing. I just saw Terry pop up. Terry does the same thing. She'll go back and forth and say hello to everybody the entire time.
Right.
And, I just want to answer one of the questions that were here earlier. Or actually, it was a statement. I want to agree with it. The Dean family, I believe it is.
Okay.
Absolutely. Little wee counselors, we have more. We actually have more say on a person's life for their daily, Dean Family Acres, on their daily life, because they're driving on our roads, our garbage pickup. It goes on and on and on and on. Yes, we do get some higher level funding, but most of your day is spent in your community, which, yes, that's what we do. And
I'm sorry. I hope that answered your question, Dean.
Yeah.
Or statement, whatever it was. I guess. How long you been doing this? How long you been doing that, Scott?
2014 was whenever I was first elected, and
Okay.
I'm going after my third term. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may go after the big chair. It's all, I'm going to give my health another month or two. I don't have to throw my official hat in the ring until July.
Okay.
So a lot of people know I'm running again, but they don't know for what.
Right.
I may go after the big chair. I'm not sure.
What is the current mayor running?
Yeah, the current mayor's running again. We have a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
We love to hate one another. And I shouldn't say that. We work well together. It's just time that some younger blood got into the big chair.
I got you.
It's been almost like 65 plus, as long as I've lived here, the last 20 some odd years, or I guess 20 years.
Do you have term limits? Do you have term limits?
No. But I do for myself.
Oh, okay.
I said if I ever got elected, I would do at the most 3 terms. And if I am lucky enough to be elected in October, this will be my 3rd term.
Okay.
So this is it.
It just, I mean, is there a reason behind it that it just wears on you or something?
It wears on you, and you're not as fresh as whenever you first got elected.
Yeah.
And I know some people have bit my head off for that statement, but it's true. You do have lifelong politicians who make a living off of this.
Right.
But I'm sick. I'm done with 2 a.m. in the morning phone calls because their recycling wasn't picked up.
Oh, goodness. I don't think I can handle that.
Or in the middle of a freezing rainstorm, I'm trying to get to the farm and I get 2 phone calls. One, where's the salt and sand trucks? I said, the guys are out. I just passed them. Thank you. Not 10 minutes later, I get another phone call. Why are there salt and sand trucks out? I said, go outside and you'll land flat and you know what, and you'll know why you took them out. But it's just, that type of thing wears very, very thin after.
It's amazing how, I mean, in working with the public, and my wife, she works with the public on a pretty much regular basis. She answers a lot of calls, and it's amazing. You can't please, I mean, anybody. It don't seem like anymore. And you really shouldn't even try. I mean, you should try to do the best you can, but if you set out to try and please everybody, you're going to have a hard time in life.
Well, and we have a couple that were elected the same time as me, and They got themselves into trouble trying to please everybody.
Yeah.
And I made a statement the first time I got elected. I'm elected by the community. I'm not elected by a certain hamlet. I'm not elected by a certain person. As long as it makes sense for the community, I'll back it.
I get that feeling that you don't back down too easy, or you don't give in too easy.
No. If I dig my heels in the ground, I'm a pretty big boy. I'm pretty hard to.
Yeah, I gathered that. I also figured that that you wouldn't be one of these people that were swayed, by certain individuals, because I mean it can get that way.
It happens, and
yeah.
everybody says that a small community doesn't happen. I call BS because it's happened here. And I told the guy to stick his envelope up his nose, for lack of a better term. And yeah, it was a developer who wanted to come in and do something that was going to be shady.
Right.
And that I'd call him on it right away because I've worked in construction many, many years. And I would call his bluff. And he tried to buy me out.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Well,
I know a few people, people that's in politics. And I pastored a guy that was a U.S. representative at one time, and he's actually a lobbyist now. He's a Democrat, and me and him never did see eye to eye on anything, but we didn't. I mean, it was kind of like that love-hate relationship you talked about. I mean, I liked him as a guy. We'd go out to eat together and stuff like that, but when he'd start talking about all the stuff, and I said, no, we're not doing this. We'll never agree on it. We'll never agree on it. And
yeah.
Hey, Stuart's prepping. And my wife, her brother is married. His brother is married to a girl whose brother is a state senator. And her daddy was a state representative at one time.
Okay.
But and plus, just here in this small community, you know all the local officials pretty much, judges and the little the superintendents and the county clerks and stuff like that. But
you guys definitely have a lot more elected officials than what we do. Like our police are all promoted; they're not elected. Where your sheriff is elected, and if people don't like where the police force is going, they vote them out.
Right.
Unfortunately, up here, it's run by the province, so it's a moneymaker.
Oh yeah.
Situation where from what I've seen down there, the sheriff has so much power, but can lose it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, and you can. I had a church member. Well, he's still a church member, but he was constable. He was the constable. I didn't even know what a constable was, but he kind of helped me to understand a little bit. He basically went out and served people's, their papers if they needed to go to court or whatever. Okay. But and then, but he retired. He got his health got bad. He was getting on up in age too, but he could have run again. And he told me the other day, he said, I might run again just to get so and so out. And I got another guy that's in the church. He's the tax assessor for our area. It don't help me at all with my taxes either. He still charges me just like he charges everybody else. You believe that?
Those are the good ones, though.
Yeah.
Everybody knows where they stand with that individual. Where you have the shady ones, they're the ones that you're not sure where you stand with them.
No, this guy, he's a super guy. He's and that's the reason he's been elected for the last 30 years, I guess, because he's fair with people, and He's just a good guy.
Yeah.
And he knows I'd be on him all the time if I ever found out anything. Now, Scott, you've been doing, and I went way longer on a lot of that than I intended, but you've been doing your Sugar Shack. Y'all been making some syrup?
Oh yeah. It's to the point where it's ahead of us right now. I stayed there all day yesterday by myself, and yeah, I'm just far too broken for that anymore because it's pretty physically demanding. As much as people go, well, you're just throwing wood in the fire. Well, I went through two and a half totes of wood yesterday.
Well, people don't do it. If people's not doing it, they don't understand it.
No,
they don't understand what's involved.
And it's just I had to go through, make sure that all the sap had ice in it. Because whenever we came out of the deep freeze, it was all frozen because we had left quite a bit in the buckets. So we're using that to prolong our season right now. Okay. So I went through, separated all the sap, all the fresh sap. I put, great big hunks of sap ice. It till Wednesday whenever we boil again. So today they're not boiling. And we'll probably be done by Sunday.
Okay. How many trees do y'all tap?
240.
240. I can't remember if you said it or if I just didn't hear it.
Yeah, we have 240 trees, all hand collected.
Okay.
And we're right around the 30 gallons of syrup this year.
Rims up there with y'all up there in Canada. It must be a lot of maple trees up there.
Yes, sir, it is. Well, and it's not even maple; it's sugar maples. It's a strain of maple tree. We have one of the fellas that were with us this year. Whenever we were setting our taps, he tapped an oak tree. Sugar maple looks pretty close to an oak tree.
Yeah.
But you got to look up. Well, he was in a rush and he put 2 taps on an oak tree. Well, he can't figure out why it's not giving us any sap.
Oh, no.
So that's the running joke. We actually left it. So, yeah, everybody that walks through the bush and goes, that's an oak tree. Yep, it is. You can get sap out of an oak tree? Nope. Because an oak tree sap doesn't, because it's so dense in the inside, it doesn't run probably for another month.
Okay. Now, I was told that you could do sycamore too. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get the sugar content. I wouldn't think that you'd get out of a sugar maple.
Yeah, see, we don't have any of those up here.
But I've got like 1, 2, 3 humongous sycamore trees here, which I'll never do it. I don't. It wouldn't be enough for me to even fool with. But I can believe it because sometimes them limbs will fall. They're good about shedding limbs, and sometimes I'll cut them if they get too low. And they're real heavy. They just packed with moisture, with water or whatever. Yeah, and I'm just assuming it's probably the sugar maple is probably like that too. If you cut a tree, that you'd probably see the water moisture coming out of it.
Yeah, we tend to plug our trees. If not, we've got amazing trees. They'll weep next spring where we tap them this year. So we get plugs and plug them up, and then the tree heals over it. And it actually looks really, really good whenever you cut down a tree and cut some lumber out of it and have all these little plugs in the lumber. It looks pretty cool.
How big a tree? I mean, is it like about probably 16, 18-inch tree you got to
We
do?
won't tap anything under 12 inches
Okay.
around.
Okay. I figured it had to be a certain size. Um, how often can you tap it? I mean, you tap it every year?
Oh yeah, every year.
Okay, and it just heals up.
Well,
Through
it heals, but it does leave a scar. So
right.
just like your skin, you're if there's a scar on your skin, they're not going to go to draw blood out of that scar. They're going to move just over a little bit. So that's the way it is with the sugar maples as well.
Okay.
Every time we tap it, it's putting a scar on it. So there's a lot of people that don't do the plants or trees justice, and they just keep tap, 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 tap. Well, the tree dies within 10 years. But if you do it the way we do it, they've been collecting maple syrup off that property for over 100 years.
Well, I guess over time, over the years, people have figured out how to do it and do it right, do it so they can continually have something coming in.
Yeah.
Like somebody like me, I wouldn't have a clue. In fact, up until I started seeing some of y'all do some of the sugar, some of the maple, so I didn't have a clue how it was made. And basically, if I understand right, you get the sap out and you boil it.
Yeah.
And get the moisture out basically until you got the syrup. Is that right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
And I see you skimming it. You just skimming stuff.
That's the impurities that come to the top.
Okay.
Little pieces of bark or bugs or whatever. It boils it all out.
I like the first one too, Danny. Go ahead.
And it just, depending on your operation, you handle sap and syrup 6 to 8 times because you're collecting it. So, think of how many man hours that is every time a person touches it. That's a whole lot. And, you've got, you pick it up from the tree is 1. You put it into a sled, it's 2. You put it into a barrel is 3. Pump it from the barrel inside is 4. 5 into the evaporator. We handle it 7 times, and then you take it out of there into pots, which you're straining pretty much at every level. You're taking all the impurities out. There's a lot of folks that do it in upstate New York, Michigan. They have to add diatomaceous earth.
Okay.
Because there's so much sandstone, and they have to use a filter press to get all this sandstone out. Well, we're blessed. The good Lord didn't give us that sandstone because that just looks like far too much work. We're able to take off our sandstone by triple filtering it, just by filter bags. And yeah,
I see. I didn't know all that went into the process. I see Danny here put Wicked Awesome Garden put. She says she has a massive sugar maple behind, so big you need 2 people to put your arm around that. Is that normal, or I didn't?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that there, with if 2 fairly good sized people, you're looking at probably 4 feet, 48 inches around the tree, minimum. So you could easily put 4 buckets on that and not harm that tree.
Okay.
It's all about size. Like a 12-inch tree, you put 1. 18-inch tree, you put 2. Anything over 24, you can put 3. And we have maybe 2 that are over 48 that have 4.
Oh goodness gracious! Well, with that big a tree, I guess. Well, and you know how many you can put in there too.
Yeah. So you always look. A key is, if you're not sure your tree during the summer, walk through your bush, and you look for the biggest root. That, because maple trees will put a big root up near the surface to take in water.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
You watch for that, and then you look for your biggest limb up in the tree, your first big limb.
Right.
Well, your best producing maple will be tap it between that root and that limb, because that's the most sap that's going to go up the tree, is going to feed a large branch.
Okay.
And
there's actually a science behind it.
Oh, absolutely, there's a science behind it. And you it's, if you want to, like, there's just so much that goes into the thought process. And some people tap red maples and whatever else, it just, their sugar content goes down, that's all. You could tap any maple and get maple syrup. It's just how much it's going to take you. Like, our sugar maples are 40-1. So we boil off 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup.
I just seen something. Danny used to be Hoagland. Now she's Danny Days. I like Danny Days better, to be honest with you, Danny. I really do. And she's saying Golden Eagle syrup is made where I live. And do you call that Fayette, Alabama, or Fayette? And the reason I asked that, I used to go up there to Fayette, and I had a lady, I pastored a church up in just on the other side of in Mississippi, and we'd go up to a nursing home, and the lady that lived over there always said, no, you don't call it Fayette, you call it Fayette. And I'm just assuming that's the same place.
Up here, we call that Fayette.
Fayette. Okay.
Just the way different pronunciations.
Fayette. So it must be the same place, because they were adamant about it. It was like, and of course I said it wrong all the time just to aggravate her. But
I can't see you doing that, Chuck.
Yeah. I got another question, and because we don't have but a couple more minutes. Andale has her live at 10, and I'm literally surprised that my power hadn't gone off, because we had some pretty good storms roll through since we've been on here. But it's not too bad right now. It'd probably go off now.
The good Lord didn't want to interrupt our conversation today.
I guess it was. Yep. Like fit. Yep. One other thing, well, there's a whole lot of other things that I could talk about that sometimes I get people on, I don't have enough time for. But I know you cook, and I've seen where you done smoked sausage and chicken and stuff like that. And that's for another day. Your Highland cattle seems to be a favorite of people.
Oh yeah.
That's they're unique looking to me.
They are unique. And they are an amazing tasting animal. And it is the healthiest red meat in the world.
Really?
Yes, sir. It's actually so lean that the Heart and Stroke Foundation said that people with heart issues, because they're not to eat red meat, can eat Highland cattle.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So that's something. So they don't have a lot of marbling in the meat or nothing. Okay.
No.
Because that to be honest, that seems to be like what most people want is because they got these, what they call them cows, that's Japanese cows, that's so expensive I can't think of the name of them now.
Oh, the Chinese Yeah,
it's gonna drive me crazy. Wagyu.
Yes.
Wagyu, and there's another one too.
Wagyu.
Yeah. But so the Highland don't have all that. they're more, and I would think they would, especially being up there in Canada, because I'm sure that's probably where they most Kobe. That's right. That's the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah, there's Kobe, there's Wagyu. There's a whole bunch of them. So even our because we don't, it's a totally self-sustaining system they've set up, where only the young are butchered, which means they never have to purchase another bull, and the mamas are on the farm until the last day.
Okay.
They die on the farm.
Okay.
And they've done that, and that's why, people ask, like, why do you dispatch after 2 years? Well, it's totally self-sustaining farm. We need to eat.
Yeah.
So, we age them about 2 years, anywhere from 18 to 20 months. And you're going to see this year, my cattle, I'm actually going to keep it with the pigs. I'm just going to move it over one paddock, and the two of them will stay and play in harmony until the fall. That way there, I do get a little bit of marbling, because it's a 50-50 Highland Angus mix to start with. And Angus has the beautiful, marbling.
Right.
But it doesn't, even mixing with the Angus, it is still on the Heart Institute's, or I call it Heart Institute because that's what we have here.
Right.
The Heart and Stroke Foundation, it is still on their acceptable levels of fat in the meat.
The Angus is what most people down here, is like the prize cattle. I guess that's
so. Yeah, so I'm gonna feed my my little girl oats and all that all summer, corn, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more marbling. And it doesn't need to marble. It doesn't need fat on its body because it's hair. It's got like a felt, and then it's got the long hair. Well, it doesn't need any fat because that hair keeps them cool and keeps them warm in the winter.
See, I wondered about that. I figured up there they'd have a lot of fat on them, and because I know, like down here, like the deer, if we have a lot of cold, and it seems like that they put on a little bit more fat. And I don't understand. You're talking about the processing. There's a lot of YouTube videos that have like the bearded butchers. That's all they do is process. I watch a channel called Deer Meat for Dinner. And they'll tell how many deer and pigs and alligators and
I know.
And they got.
I don't know. I put all the right things that, guys that have been around forever told me to put the cautions right at the beginning, put it halfway through, try not to show any, like, removing of any heads or, I'm trying to watch what I say.
Right. Well, I don't understand.
And try to eliminate the amount of blood.
Right.
So, in doing that, I think I did it. The first one, there wasn't an issue. The second one was, might have been a little bit more blood, but not, well, it was the second cow that we butchered. So, of course, there's going to be more blood.
Right.
But
I guess I grew up with all that. It don't really matter to me. And I figure if I don't want to watch something, I can turn the channel or I can go watch somebody else's. Exactly. It just makes no sense to me at all.
I think somebody reported me.
Yeah.
And this is their retaliation. Because I have one person, I know who it is, that thinks it's funny to report me.
Really? And they can report you, and it don't really matter if you do anything or not. They just, as long if they report you, like somebody could report me, and even though we've said nothing, and it would go against, which I mean I don't care, but
it's the same person that I dealt with before that said that I was a con artist and troll. Well, that took me a month and a half to clear that up with YouTube. They apologized for wasting my time. Well, but they said there's nothing they can do. They can't take the report button away from her. So unfortunately,
I mean, you can't ban the person, or you can't.
Well, and that's what I said. I said, I don't want to see anybody banned, but really, at what point do you call it? Oh, I just drew a blank. Harassment.
Right.
At what point do you draw the line in the sand and say, now this is becoming harassment?
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I tend to think that I help a lot more people than.
And I think you do. I think there's just people like that in this world, but that's just going to cause issues. But look, I have reached my 10 o'clock hour, and I just realized that I'm right at it. And I know Andale has hers coming on. I want everybody that can to go over there. I know people have got things to do, but it don't look like I got anything to do except for clean up the mess of this house. But because it's raining outside, Scott, I do appreciate you coming on, and
we'll have to do a part 2.
A part 2. I'd like that. There's so much that I guess I think of, and then I say I'm going to mention, or we're going to go over while I'm talking to you, and then the minute we click off, it's like, doggone, I should have mentioned that. I did want to say this to Bare Bones. I seen she come in. Anyway, she was up in here somewhere. And I appreciate you coming by. Bare Bones just had a baby, her third boy. And she kind of like gathered together homestead. They got all boys. But she just had a child. I plan on getting her one day just to kind of help her or promote her channel a little bit.
Absolutely.
But the next desire, I want to get digging for help. Everybody, y'all need to get on Andrea and tell her she's coming on my live, and whether she wants to or not. Brian, I appreciate you coming, and everybody else in the chat. Thank y'all. Y'all don't know how much it means to me that y'all take the time out of your day to come be with us. And Scott, again, I appreciate you coming and being with us. And Scott is everybody knows Scott anyway, so I guess I'm not introducing him to anybody. But
I got to say, there's quite a few people in your chat that I don't know personally. So come on over, subscribe, and we can become family.
Let's see. I just seen Stephen Sheet said, I'm from you and my channel. He does karaoke. That's the first time I've seen him on there. Thank you, Bare Bones, and I appreciate it. Danny, I like your new name.
Yes.
Andrea, I'm giving you an email in just a few minutes. Boots, Stephen, Roberta, and I'm not going to go back through the list because I'll messed up. Y'all get over and check out Andale if you would, and tell her I said hello, which I may be over there myself. God bless y'all. Hope y'all all have a great day. Scott, stay warm up there.
Take care.
All right, we'll see you later.